Chapter 1. Early Years. Jane Austen, one of the most famous English writers, was born on December 16, 1775, in Steventon, a small village in Hampshire, England. She was the seventh child and second daughter of Reverend George Austen and his wife, Cassandra. Her father was the local Anglican clergyman, providing Jane with a stable, though not wealthy, upbringing. The Austen household was lively and full of activity with 8 children. Jane started showing her creative talents early in life. The Austen family loved literature. They often read together and even put on plays. Jane's father had an extensive library, giving her access to many books, which was unusual for women at that time. This environment nurtured her love for reading and writing. Jane and her sister Cassandra were very close. They shared a room and were each other's closest confidants. For education, Jane and Cassandra briefly attended schools in Oxford and Southampton, but most of their education came from home. Their father taught them and their brothers various subjects, including writing and arithmetic. Jane began writing as a young girl, initially as amusing exercises, but gradually developing her unique style. She wrote poems, stories, and plays, often humorous and satirical. These early writings showcased her wit and understanding of human nature, elements that would later define her novels. Life in Steventon was relatively quiet but fulfilling for Jane. She participated in local events, observed social interactions, and used these experiences in her writing. This rural life, with its social structures and relationships, greatly influenced her novels. Her early years in Steventon were crucial in shaping her as a writer and as a person. These experiences provided a solid foundation for her later works, which would go on to captivate readers for generations. Jane's early writings, though not widely known, already displayed the talent and insight that would make her one of the most beloved authors in English literature. Her childhood in Steventon, filled with family, literature, and rural life, was the beginning of a journey that would lead her to become a significant figure in literary history. Jane Austen's education and early writing were as unique as her novels. Born into a family that valued learning, Jane and her siblings were encouraged to read, learn, and create from a young age. Despite limited formal schooling, Jane's education was rich and diverse, mainly thanks to her father. Reverend George Austen owned an extensive library, and Jane, with unrestricted access, read widely. She read classics, histories, and even plays, absorbing a vast array of ideas and styles. This early exposure to literature played a crucial role in her development as a writer. Alongside her reading, Jane's writing began to blossom. She started by writing short pieces, often playful and satirical, which she shared with her family. These early works, known as the Juvenilia, are filled with humor and show a young writer experimenting with her craft. By her teenage years, Jane was already a confident writer, her stories filled with sharp observations and social commentary. Her education wasn't just about books. The Austen family valued creativity, often engaging in theatricals and storytelling. This environment allowed Jane's imagination to thrive. Her stories from this period show a keen understanding of character and dialogue, skills that would define her later novels. Jane's early writing also reveals her growing awareness of the society around her. She observed the social dynamics of her time, the roles of women, and the importance of marriage and social status. These observations would later become central themes in her novels. At home, Jane received some formal education in subjects like French, spelling, and needlework, typical of the period for young women. However, her real education was unconventional, shaped by a curious mind and a passion for literature. Jane's early years were a time of exploration and growth. Through her reading and writing, she developed a unique voice, one that would resonate with readers for centuries. Her education, though atypical, equipped her with the tools to become one of the most celebrated writers in English literature. Her early writing, full of wit and insight, was just the beginning of a remarkable literary journey. Chapter 2. Family Life. Jane Austen's family life played a pivotal role in shaping her as a writer and individual. The Austens were a close-knit and loving family, deeply involved in each other's lives. Jane's father, Reverend George Austen, was a well-respected clergyman, and her mother, Cassandra Austen, was known for her sharp wit and storytelling abilities. Jane was the second daughter in a family of 8 children. Her only sister, Cassandra, was her closest friend and confidant throughout her life. The Austen siblings shared a strong bond, often engaging in various creative activities together. Growing up in a family that valued education and creativity, Jane was exposed to a stimulating intellectual environment from a young age. The Austens often engaged in reading, discussions, and theatrical performances at home. This vibrant family life provided Jane with rich material for her novels, which frequently explore family dynamics and relationships. Her brothers played significant roles in her life too. Her eldest brother, James, who inherited the clergyman's role from their father, was an avid writer and poet. Jane looked up to him and was influenced by his literary pursuits. Another brother, Henry, was Jane's favorite and often acted as her literary agent, helping her navigate the publishing world. Charles and Francis, her naval officer brothers, brought tales of the sea and distant lands, fueling her imagination. George, the second eldest, had a disability and lived with a local family, and Edward was adopted by wealthy relatives, providing Jane with insights into different social standings. The Austen household was a place of laughter, love, and learning. Despite not being wealthy, the family valued the richness of knowledge and the arts. This environment nurtured Jane's talents and influenced her perspective on life and society. The family's move to Bath after her father's retirement marked a significant change. Jane initially struggled with this transition as she was deeply attached to the countryside lifestyle of Steventon. However, the experience of living in Bath later influenced her novels, particularly Northanger Abbey and Persuasion. The Austen family faced financial challenges, especially after Reverend Austen's death. These struggles brought the family even closer together and are reflected in the themes of financial insecurity and social status in Jane's novels. Despite the hardships, the Austen family remained a source of support and inspiration for Jane. The love, warmth, and complexity of the Austen family life profoundly impacted Jane's writing. Her experiences within her family helped shape her understanding of human relationships, a central element in her novels. The Austen family, with its unique blend of love, intellect, and humor, was not just Jane's world. It was the canvas on which she painted her most enduring literary works. The move to Bath was a significant event in Jane Austen's life, marking a period of great change and adaptation. In 1801, when Jane was 25 years old, her family left the rural tranquility of Steventon for the bustling city of Bath, following her father's retirement. This transition was challenging for Jane, who deeply loved the countryside and found the city's social scene quite overwhelming. Bath, a fashionable spa city, was known for its grand buildings, social gatherings, and balls. It was a stark contrast to the quiet life Jane was used to in Steventon. Despite her initial reluctance, Jane gradually started to engage with Bath's social life. The city was a hub of Georgian society, offering a variety of social activities, including dances, concerts, and visits to the famous pump room and Roman baths. These experiences in Bath provided Jane with rich insights into social customs and class dynamics, which she later incorporated into her novels. The city's diverse population, including the wealthy, the middle class, and the poor, also gave her a broader perspective on society. Jane's time in Bath coincided with a period of personal reflection and little-known writing. Some scholars believe that she experienced a creative pause during her early years in Bath. However, it's also during this period that she revised Sensi and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, which she had initially drafted in Steventon. The Austen family's social standing changed after the death of Janus Feather in 1805. They faced financial difficulties which impacted their lifestyle. Jane, her sister Cassandra, and their mother had to rely on the support of their brothers. This experience of financial insecurity and dependence influenced themes in her later works. The family moved several times within Bath, each home marking a different phase in Jane's life in the city. These moves, often dictated by economic necessity, exposed her to various aspects of life in Bath. Despite the challenges, Jane's observation of Bath society was keen and often critical. She noted the superficiality and pretensions of the social elite, elements she wittily critiqued in her novels. Jane's years in Bath were a mix of enjoyment, observation, and personal growth. While she may not have written much during this period, the experiences and observations she gathered in Bath significantly influenced her writing. After leaving Bath in 1806, Jane's perspective on the city and its society would be reflected in her works, particularly in Northanger Abbey and Persuasion, where Bath plays a central role. Bath was not just a place of residence for Jane Austen, it was a source of inspiration, a backdrop for her social observations, and a significant chapter in her life that influenced her as a person and as a writer. Chapter 3. Writing Beginnings. Jane Austen's journey as a writer began in the imaginative and lively atmosphere of her family home. From a young age, she was drawn to storytelling, influenced by the rich culture of reading and theatricals in her family. Her first stories, written in her early teens, were playful and experimental, reflecting her sharp wit and burgeoning talent. These early works, known as the Juvenilia, include short plays, verses, and comical stories. They showcase a young Jane playing with language, exploring characters, and satirizing the society she observed. The Juvenilia are filled with humor and parody, traits that would later become hallmarks of her mature novels. Jane's stories from this period were not just simple tales. They were sophisticated in their understanding of human nature and social norms. Her family's encouragement was crucial in these early years. They provided an audience for her stories, offering laughter, applause, and critique. This supportive environment fostered her creativity and confidence as a writer. Jane's early stories often feature strong, intelligent female characters, a reflection of her own experiences and the women around her. These characters were unusual for their time, challenging the typical portrayals of women in literature. Her stories from the Juvenilia also reveal an early grasp of social satire. Jane used humor to critique and observe the world around her, particularly the roles and expectations of women in society. These early writings were not intended for publication. They were personal, shared primarily with her family and close friends. However, they played a significant role in developing her narrative style and voice. Jane's first attempts at longer works began in her late teens. These included early versions of her later famous novels, such as Eleanor and Marianne, which would evolve into Sense and Sensibility, and First Impressions, which would become Pride and Prejudice. Even in these early versions, her talent for creating engaging characters and social commentary was evident. The themes explored in these early works, like love, marriage, social status, and morality, continued to feature prominently in her later novels. Jane's first stories were a playground where she honed her skills in character development, dialogue, and social critique. They reflect the beginnings of a writer who was keenly observant, sharply witty, and ahead of her time. These early writings laid the foundation for her future masterpieces, works that would capture the complexities of human relationships and society. For Jane Austen, these first stories were not just youthful exercises. They were the first steps of a literary journey that would lead her to become one of the most celebrated authors in English literature. As Jane Austen's writing evolved, she developed a unique style that set her apart from other writers of her time. This style was characterized by its wit, irony, and keen observation of social customs and human relationships. Jane's style began to take shape in her early works, where she experimented with different forms of storytelling. She was influenced by the novels and writings she read, but she also added her own voice and perspective to her work. Her early writings were full of playful satire and humor, but as she matured, her writing became more refined and focused. One of the most distinctive aspects of Jane Austen's style was her use of free, indirect discourse. This narrative technique allowed her to explore her characters' thoughts and feelings while maintaining a third-person perspective. It was a revolutionary approach for her time, giving readers a deeper understanding of her characters' inner worlds. This technique is evident in her famous novels, where the thoughts and motivations of characters like Elizabeth Bennet and Emma Woodhouse are intimately revealed. Jane's dialogue was another key element of her style. She had a talent for creating conversations that were not only realistic, but also full of wit and social commentary. Her dialogue often moved the plot forward and revealed the personalities and values of her characters. This skill made her novels engaging and relatable to readers. The themes Jane explored in her writing were also central to her style. She focused on everyday life and the social dynamics of the middle and upper classes in Georgian England. Her novels revolve around love, marriage, morality, and the pursuit of happiness, themes that were relevant to her contemporary audience and continue to resonate today. Jane's style was also marked by her focus on the female experience. Her novels are centered around strong, intelligent female protagonists who navigate the challenges and restrictions of their society. This perspective was innovative for her time and contributed to the lasting appeal of her work. Her ability to combine social critique with entertaining storytelling was a defining feature of her style. Jane used her novels to comment on social issues like class, gender, and marriage, often in a subtle and indirect way. This made her writing both thought-provoking and enjoyable to read. Jane Austen's unique style was the result of her sharp intellect, keen observation, and creative experimentation. She developed a voice that was both distinctly hers and reflective of the society she lived in. Her novels, with their combination of humor, social commentary, and insight into human nature, have stood the test of time. Jane's style, developed over years of writing and revising, has made her one of the most beloved and respected authors in English literature. Her ability to capture the complexities of life and relationships in an engaging and accessible way is a testament to her talent and creativity as a writer. Chapter 4. Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice, one of Jane Austen's most famous novels, began its journey as a manuscript titled First Impressions. Written in the late 1790s when Jane was in her early 20s, this manuscript marked the early stages of what would become a beloved classic. The novel, as we know it today, took shape over several years, reflecting Jane's growth as a writer and her keen observation of society. The process of writing Pride and Prejudice was a labor of love and patience. After its initial completion, the manuscript of First Impressions was rejected by a publisher. Jane, however, did not give up on the story. She continued to revise and refine it, demonstrating her commitment to her craft and her belief in the story's potential. The novel's setting in rural England, the social milieu Jane knew well, provided a vivid backdrop for the story. Her intimate knowledge of the manners, speech, and daily life of her characters added authenticity and depth to the narrative. The characters of Pride and Prejudice are some of the most memorable in English literature. Elizabeth Bennet, the novel's protagonist, stands out with her wit, intelligence, and independent spirit. Mr. Darcy, with his initial aloofness and eventual transformation, became an iconic romantic hero. The interaction between these two characters, marked by misunderstandings and evolving perceptions, drives the narrative forward. Jane's portrayal of Elizabeth and Darcy's relationship, with its ups and downs, highlights themes of pride, prejudice, and the importance of personal growth. In Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen also delves into the social issues of her time. The novel explores the dependence of women on marriage for social standing and economic security. Through the story, Jane critiques the institution of marriage and the limited options available to women, while also portraying the romantic aspirations and struggles of her characters. The novel's enduring appeal lies in its blend of romance, social commentary, and humour. Jane's witty dialogue, engaging plot, and realistic characters have made Pride and Prejudice a favourite among readers for generations. The novel's publication in 1813 marked a significant moment in Jane Austen's career. It received positive reviews and quickly gained popularity. The success of Pride and Prejudice solidified Jane's status as a notable writer, although she was not publicly acknowledged as the author during her lifetime. Pride and Prejudice remains a masterpiece not only because of its engaging story, but also because it reflects Jane Austen's skill as a writer. Her ability to create a world that is both realistic and captivating, to address serious issues with a light touch, and to develop characters that are both flawed and endearing, showcases her talent and insight. The making of Pride and Prejudice is a testament to Jane Austen's perseverance, creativity, and acute understanding of the human heart and society. This novel, born from her experiences and observations, continues to resonate with readers and stands as a brilliant example of her literary genius. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen is celebrated for its rich themes and memorable characters, which continue to captivate readers worldwide. At the heart of the novel are the themes of pride, prejudice, love, and marriage. These themes are woven into the story through the lives and interactions of the characters. The protagonist, Elizabeth Bennet, is an intelligent and spirited young woman. She stands out in her society for her sharp wit and strong opinions. Elizabeth's character challenges the norms of her time, particularly the idea that a woman's primary goal should be to marry well. Her initial prejudice against Mr. Darcy and her eventual realization of her own misjudgments are central to the novel's plot. Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, the other central character, is initially perceived as proud and aloof. His pride leads to misunderstandings and conflicts, especially with Elizabeth. However, as the story progresses, Darcy's character evolves, revealing depth and kindness. His transformation and growing love for Elizabeth are key to understanding the novel's message about overcoming pride and prejudice. The relationship between Elizabeth and Darcy is at the core of the novel. Their journey from misunderstanding and disdain to respect and love is a primary driver of the story. Through their relationship, Austen explores themes of social class, reputation, and the power of first impressions. Other characters in the novel also contribute to its themes. Jane Bennet, Elizabeth's older sister, represents kindness and optimism. In contrast, Mr. Collins and Lady Catherine de Bourgh symbolize the rigid class structures and snobbery of the time. Each character, from the charming yet unreliable Wickham to the pragmatic Charlotte Lucas, adds depth to the novel's exploration of society and human nature. The theme of marriage is prevalent throughout the novel. Austen uses the various marriages and courtships in the story to critique the societal pressures on women to marry for financial security and social status. The different relationships in the novel, from the harmonious to the dysfunctional, provide insight into the realities of marriage in the early 19th century. Pride and Prejudice is not just a love story, it is a commentary on the social world of Austen's time. Through her characters and their interactions, Austen critiques the limitations placed on women and the importance placed on social standing and wealth. The enduring appeal of Pride and Prejudice lies in its blend of romance, social satire, and character development. The novel's exploration of themes like pride, prejudice, love, and marriage, combined with its memorable characters, make it a timeless classic. Jane Austen's keen observations of society and the human heart, her witty dialogue, and her skill in crafting complex characters have secured Pride and Prejudice a place as one of the most beloved novels in English literature. Chapter 5. Sense and Sensibility. Sense and Sensibility, another of Jane Austen's acclaimed novels, began its journey under the title Eleanor and Marianne. Written initially as an epistolary novel, composed of letters, it marked a significant step in Austen's development as a writer. The genesis of this novel reflects Jane's evolving literary style and her keen observation of societal norms and human emotions. The novel's transformation from a series of letters into its final narrative form is a testament to Jane's growing skill and confidence as a novelist. In Sense and Sensibility, Austen explores the contrasting temperaments and experiences of two sisters, Eleanor and Marianne Dashwood. The story reflects the balance between sense, reason, logic, and restraint, and sensibility, emotion, passion, and impulsiveness. This contrast in characters and approaches to life is central to the novel's exploration of relationships, love, and social expectations. The characters of Eleanor and Marianne were inspired by Jane's own life and observations. The two sisters represent different aspects of womanhood and the challenges faced by women in early 19th century England. Eleanor, embodying sense, navigates her family's reduced circumstances with pragmatism and poise, while Marianne, representing sensibility, follows her heart with little regard for societal norms. The novel's setting, from the countryside to London's society, provides a rich backdrop for the story. The social settings and events in the novel, such as balls, visits, and engagements, are vividly portrayed, reflecting Austen's own experiences and observations of society. The writing process of Sense and Sensibility coincided with significant changes in Jane's own life, including the Austen family's move to Bath. These personal experiences and transitions influenced the novel's themes, particularly the impact of economic uncertainty and social displacement on women. Sense and Sensibility delves into themes of love, honor, and economic necessity. The novel critiques the dependency of women on marriage for economic security and social respectability. It also explores the emotional turmoil and moral dilemmas faced by its characters in their pursuit of happiness and stability. The novel's publication in 1811 marked Jane Austen's debut as a published author. Though published anonymously, Sense and Sensibility was well received, gaining popularity and earning praise for its narrative style and character development. The novel's genesis, from its initial conception as an epistolary work to its final form as a narrative novel, showcases Jane's growth and adaptability as a writer. Her ability to create a compelling story that combines social commentary, emotional depth, and a keen understanding of human nature is evident in Sense and Sensibility. The novel not only entertains but also provides insight into the complexities of life, love, and societal expectations. The creation of Sense and Sensibility is a critical part of Jane Austen's literary journey, reflecting her maturing style, her sharp social commentary, and her understanding of the intricacies of human relationships. In Sense and Sensibility, Jane Austen explores the concept of sensibility, a theme that resonates deeply throughout the novel. Sensibility in the 19th century context refers to a heightened emotional responsiveness and an intense appreciation of art and nature, often contrasted with sense, which is associated with rationality and restraint. Marianne Dashwood, one of the novel's central characters, embodies sensibility. She is passionate, artistic, and guided largely by her emotions. Her character provides a vivid exploration of the joys and pitfalls of living with such intense sensibility. Marianne's experiences in the novel highlight the vulnerability and risks associated with being guided solely by feelings. Her romantic entanglements, particularly with the charming yet unscrupulous John Willoughby, demonstrate the potential consequences of prioritizing emotion over reason. Marianne's character arc is a journey from youthful idealism and impulsive behavior to a more mature understanding of love and life. Through Marianne, Austen examines the romantic ideals of the time, showing both the appeal and the danger of giving in completely to sensibility. Marianne's interactions with her sister Eleanor, who embodies sense, further illuminate the theme. While Marianne is open and expressive about her feelings, Eleanor is reserved and practical. Their contrasting approaches to life and love create tension and mutual learning experiences throughout the story. The novel does not entirely favor sense over sensibility or vice versa. Instead, it suggests a balance between the two. Marianne learns to temper her emotions with a degree of practicality, while Eleanor recognizes the value of expressing her feelings. This balance is central to the novel's message about the importance of both reason and emotion in life. The theme of sensibility extends beyond the personal to comment on broader societal expectations. Marianne's sensibility is initially seen as attractive and fitting for a young woman of her time, but it also makes her susceptible to societal judgment and personal heartache. Austen uses Marianne's story to critique the romantic and social expectations placed on women, showing how these can limit their choices and happiness. Sense and Sensibility is as much a social commentary as it is a story of personal growth. Through Marianne's experiences, Austen explores the complexities of human emotion, the societal pressures of the era, and the journey towards a more balanced and fulfilling life. The exploration of sensibility in the novel reflects Austen's own understanding of the human heart and her ability to depict the nuances of character and emotion. Marianne's journey from sensibility towards a more balanced perspective is a key aspect of the novel, offering insights into the challenges and rewards of emotional growth. Jane Austen's nuanced portrayal of sensibility in Sense and Sensibility makes it a compelling and thought-provoking novel, with themes that continue to resonate with modern readers. Chapter 6. Mansfield Park. Mansfield Park, one of Jane Austen's more complex and mature novels, presents a different narrative style and explores themes that were somewhat distinct from her earlier works. The novel tells the story of Fanny Price, a young girl from a poor family who is sent to live with her wealthy relatives at Mansfield Park. Unlike Austen's previous heroines, such as the witty Elizabeth Bennet or the passionate Marianne Dashwood, Fanny Price is quiet, shy, and morally steadfast. Her character offers a new perspective and challenges the reader's expectations of a typical Austen protagonist. The setting of Mansfield Park, a large country estate, plays a significant role in the novel. It is a place of comfort and luxury, but also one where societal hierarchies and moral issues are prominently displayed. The novel delves into the themes of social class, morality, and the impact of upbringing and environment on one's character. Fanny's humble origins and her experiences at Mansfield Park provide a contrast to the lifestyles and values of her wealthy relatives. Mansfield Park is notable for its deeper exploration of moral and ethical issues. Fanny's integrity and moral fortitude are tested throughout the novel, particularly in contrast to the more worldly and morally ambiguous characters she encounters, like Henry Crawford and Mary Crawford. These characters bring a level of complexity and moral ambiguity to the novel, challenging both Fanny and the reader to consider questions of right and wrong. The novel also addresses the issue of slavery and the British Empire, a topic that was not commonly discussed in literature at the time. Sir Thomas Bertram's wealth, including Mansfield Park, is suggested to be derived from his plantations in Antigua, bringing an underlying critique of the source of wealth in British society. Austen uses Fanny's character and her experiences at Mansfield Park to explore the societal constraints and expectations placed upon women. Fanny's quiet strength and her resistance to societal pressures contrast with the more conventional paths taken by other characters in the novel. Mansfield Park also reflects Austen's growth as a writer. The narrative is more complex, and the social commentary is more direct than in her earlier novels. This maturity in Austen's writing style and thematic exploration has made Mansfield Park a subject of much literary analysis and debate. The novel's exploration of moral integrity, societal norms, and personal growth, combined with its complex characters and intricate plot, make it a unique and significant work in Austen's oeuvre. Mansfield Park represents a different narrative approach for Jane Austen, one that combines her characteristic wit and social observation with a deeper exploration of moral and ethical questions. The novel's portrayal of Fanny Price's journey and the complexities of life at Mansfield Park offers a nuanced and compelling look at the challenges of upholding one's values in a complex world. Mansfield Park, published in 1814, received a varied critical reception, reflecting its complex themes and unique narrative style compared to Jane Austen's earlier works. This novel, while admired for its craftsmanship, provoked diverse opinions among readers and critics, both during Austen's time and in the years since. Initially, Mansfield Park was successful in terms of sales, indicating a positive reception among the reading public of the time. The novel's intricate plot, detailed characterizations, and exploration of moral themes appealed to many readers. However, it did not receive the same immediate critical acclaim as some of Austen's other novels, such as Pride and Prejudice. Some contemporary critics found the character of Fanny Price less engaging than Austen's other heroines. Fanny's quiet and passive nature was a departure from the more lively and outspoken characters like Elizabeth Bennet, leading some readers to view her as less compelling. The novel's moral tone and exploration of serious themes, including critiques of the clergy and the British class system, were also a shift from the lighter tone of Austen's previous works. This led to mixed reactions among readers expecting a similar style to her earlier novels. Over the years, Mansfield Park has been re-evaluated by literary scholars and has gained recognition for its depth and complexity. The novel's exploration of topics such as slavery, morality, and the influence of environment on character development has been the subject of much academic discussion. Modern critics have appreciated the subtle social commentary and the complex moral landscape that Austen presents in the novel. Fanny Price's character has also been reinterpreted. Her moral integrity and resilience are now often seen as strengths, reflecting a different but equally powerful form of heroism, compared to other Austen heroines. The novel's depiction of the Bertram family and their interactions with characters like the Crawfords provide a nuanced critique of early 19th century British society, adding to the novel's rich tapestry of themes and character dynamics. Mansfield Park is now considered an important work in Austen's literary canon, notable for its serious tone and moral complexity. It offers a deeper insight into Austen's views on society, morality, and the human condition. The varied critical reception of Mansfield Park over time highlights the evolving understanding and appreciation of Austen's work. The novel's depth, intricate characterizations, and exploration of challenging themes have secured its place as a significant and influential work in the landscape of English literature. Jane Austen's Mansfield Park continues to engage and challenge readers and critics alike, offering a rich and thought-provoking experience that delves into the complexities of morality, society, and personal integrity. Chapter 7. Emma. Emma, published in 1815, is one of Jane Austen's most renowned novels, and the creation of its main character, Emma Woodhouse, marks a significant achievement in Austen's literary career. Unlike Austen's previous heroines, Emma is handsome, clever, and rich, with a comfortable home and a happy disposition. Austen famously remarked that she was creating a heroine whom no one but myself will much like. This bold approach to character development showcased Austen's skill and confidence as a writer. Emma's character is complex and multifaceted. She is intelligent and charming, but also flawed, prone to overconfidence and meddling in others' lives, particularly in matters of love and marriage. This blend of qualities makes her a realistic and relatable character despite her initial shortcomings. Austen's creation of Emma was a deliberate move away from the conventional heroines of the time. Emma's wealth and status means she is not driven by the need for a husband for financial security, a common theme in earlier novels. This independence allows Austen to explore Emma's character development more deeply, focusing on her personal growth rather than romantic pursuit. The setting of Highbury, a small, tight-knit community, is integral to Emma's character. Her interactions with the other inhabitants, from the gentry to the common folk, reveal different aspects of her personality. Emma's relationships with characters like Mr. Knightley, Harriet Smith, and Jane Fairfax are central to the novel. Through these relationships, Emma's strengths and weaknesses are highlighted, and her journey towards self-awareness and maturity is mapped. Emma's role as a matchmaker drives much of the plot and creates many of the novel's humorous and dramatic moments. Her misguided attempts to arrange the love lives of her friends lead to misunderstandings and complications, reflecting her lack of understanding of others' feelings and her own. The character of Emma Woodhouse represents a departure from Austen's previous heroines, showcasing her evolution as a writer. Emma is a character who challenges societal norms and expectations in her own way, making her a fascinating subject of study and admiration. The novel Emma is a detailed portrait of a young woman's journey to self-discovery and understanding. It delves into themes of social class, the complexities of relationships, and the follies of youth. Austen's skill in creating a character like Emma, who is both admirable and fault-ridden, is a testament to her understanding of human nature and her ability to craft engaging and enduring characters. Emma Woodhouse remains one of Austen's most memorable and beloved characters, a testament to Austen's genius in character creation and storytelling. The novel Emma and its heroine stand as enduring icons in literature, offering insights into the human experience through the lens of a young woman's journey in early 19th century England. In Emma, Jane Austen intricately weaves the social contexts of early 19th century England into the fabric of the story, using the setting of the small village of Highbury to explore themes of class, marriage, and societal norms. The novel provides a detailed portrayal of the social hierarchy and daily life in a rural community, reflecting Austen's keen observation of the society she lived in. The character of Emma Woodhouse, with her privileged background, is at the center of Highbury's social scene. Her interactions with other characters from different social classes highlight the rigid class structure of the time. Emma's status allows her to navigate her social world with a degree of freedom and authority, yet her actions also reveal the limitations and responsibilities that come with her position. Marriage is a central theme in Emma, as it is in many of Austen's novels. The story delves into the societal pressures and expectations surrounding marriage, particularly for women. The novel critiques the idea that marriage is the only path to security and respectability for women, a notion that pervades the society of the time. Through the various courtships and romantic entanglements in the story, Austen explores different aspects of love and marriage, from convenience and social advancement to genuine affection and compatibility. The novel also examines the role of women in society. Emma, as a wealthy, unmarried woman, has a certain level of autonomy, but she is also bound by societal expectations. Her journey includes learning to understand her own place in society and how to navigate it with both grace and integrity. The social contexts in Emma are further enriched by the diverse cast of characters. Each character, from the wealthy Knightley family to the impoverished Bates mother and daughter, represents different aspects of Highbury's society. Their interactions and relationships form a complex web that illustrates the interdependence and social dynamics of community life. Austen's depiction of social gatherings, such as dances, picnics, and dinners, is a key element in portraying the social norms and customs of the time. These events are not only social highlights, but also scenes where characters' relationships and social standings are displayed and tested. Emma is a social satire as much as it is a novel about personal growth. Austen uses humor and irony to critique the snobbery, pretensions, and follies of her society. Her nuanced portrayal of the social contexts in Emma offers a window into the world of early 19th century England, revealing both its charms and its limitations. The social contexts in Emma provide a backdrop against which the characters' stories unfold. Jane Austen's skillful integration of these contexts into the narrative enhances the novel's depth and richness, making it not only a story of personal development, but also a commentary on the society of her time. Emma remains a beloved and insightful novel, with its detailed portrayal of social contexts adding to its enduring appeal and relevance. Chapter 8. Persuasion. In Persuasion, Jane Austen introduces us to Anne Elliot, a character whose story is one of lost love, personal growth, and eventual renewal. Anne, unlike many of Austen's other heroines, is more mature, quiet, and reflective. At the age of 27, which was considered past the prime marrying age at the time, Anne's story begins with a sense of melancholy and regret. 8 years before the novel begins, Anne had fallen in love with Frederick Wentworth, a young naval officer. However, she was persuaded to break off their engagement due to his lack of fortune and uncertain future, advice given to her by her friend and mentor, Lady Russell. This decision, made out of duty and a sense of social propriety, leaves Anne with a deep unspoken sorrow as she watches Wentworth leave her life. Anne's family, particularly her father Sir Walter Elliot and her sister Elizabeth, are characterized by their vanity and concern with social status. Their lack of understanding and emotional support leaves Anne isolated in her family adding to her sense of regret and lost opportunities. When Wentworth, now a successful and wealthy captain, re-enters Anne's life, the novel delves into themes of love, second chances, and the enduring nature of true feelings. Anne's quiet strength, her capacity for enduring love, and her ability to reflect on her past decisions are central to her character's development throughout the story. The social context of Persuasion is significant. The novel takes place in a time of change in England, with the Napoleonic Wars as a backdrop and the rise of the Navy adding a new dynamic to the traditional social hierarchy. Wentworth's success in the Navy represents the changing times and the opportunities for men to rise in status through merit rather than birth. Anne's journey in the novel is not just about her romantic relationship with Wentworth, but also about her finding her own voice and agency. She learns to trust her own judgment and to make decisions based on what she believes is right, rather than being overly influenced by the opinions of others. The reunion of Anne and Wentworth is not just a resolution of their romantic story, but also a symbol of Anne's personal growth and self-realization. The novel's setting, moving from the countryside to Bath and then to the seaside town of Lyme, reflects Anne's emotional journey and the changes in her life. Persuasion is unique among Austen's novels for its mature heroine and its focus on second chances and the resilience of love. Anne Elliot's story is one of quiet strength, introspection, and the courage to follow one's heart despite societal pressures. Austen's portrayal of Anne as a nuanced and relatable character, along with the novel's exploration of themes of love, social change, and personal growth, make Persuasion a deeply moving and enduring work in her literary canon. Persuasion, Jane Austen's final completed novel, is a poignant exploration of the themes of love and regret, set against the backdrop of early 19th century English society. The story centers on Anne Elliot, who, at the age of 27, is considered by her society to be on the verge of spinsterhood. Anne's past decision to break off her engagement with Frederick Wentworth, influenced by societal and familial pressures, sets the stage for a narrative steeped in reflection and longing. The theme of love in Persuasion is depicted with a depth and maturity that differs from Austen's earlier works. Love is portrayed as enduring and capable of withstanding time and trials. Anne's enduring love for Wentworth, despite their long separation and the changes they have both undergone, demonstrates the lasting nature of true affection and deep connection. Wentworth's eventual return to Anne's life tests her emotions and the strength of her past feelings. Regret is another central theme of the novel. Anne's regret over her decision to reject Wentworth's proposal haunts her throughout the story. This sense of lost opportunities and the impact of decisions made under societal pressure are themes that resonate deeply with the reader. Austen explores how the choices made in youth can shape one's future, and how societal expectations can influence personal happiness. The novel also delves into the theme of persuasion itself, the influence of others in our decisions, and the importance of staying true to oneself. Anne's initial persuadability, leading to her decision to reject Wentworth, contrasts with her later growth into a more self-assured and independent character who learns to trust her own judgment. The theme of social class and mobility is evident in the contrast between Anne's aristocratic family and Wentworth's rise through merit in the Navy. This contrast reflects the changing social landscape of Austen's time, where merit and achievement began to challenge the traditional class hierarchy. Persuasion also explores the theme of second chances. The rekindling of Anne and Wentworth's relationship symbolizes the possibility of renewal and the opportunity to correct past mistakes. This theme extends beyond their romantic relationship to encompass broader aspects of life, including family relationships and social standing. The setting of the novel, moving from the countryside of Kellynch Hall to Bath and Lyme Regis, mirrors the themes of change, reflection, and renewal. Each location in the story contributes to the development of the narrative and the exploration of its central themes. Persuasion is a novel rich in emotion and depth, exploring the complexities of love, regret, and the impact of societal norms on personal choices. Jane Austen's nuanced portrayal of these themes, coupled with her in-depth characterization and social commentary, makes Persuasion a powerful and enduring work in her literary legacy. The novel's exploration of love and regret, set against the backdrop of societal change, resonates with readers, making it a timeless classic in the canon of English literature. Chapter 9. Northanger Abbey. Northanger Abbey, one of Jane Austen's earlier novels but published posthumously in 1817, stands out in her oeuvre for its unique blend of satire and Gothic elements. This novel is a playful yet insightful critique of the popular Gothic novels of the time, which were characterized by their dark, mysterious settings and melodramatic plots. The story follows Catherine Morland, a young, naive woman who is fond of reading Gothic novels. Catherine's love for these novels influences her perception of the world, leading her to imagine mysteries and adventures beyond the ordinary. Austen uses Catherine's character to satirize the conventions of the Gothic genre. Catherine's visit to Northanger Abbey, the Tilneys' ancestral home, becomes a pivotal point in the novel. Excited by the prospect of being in a real Gothic setting, Catherine lets her imagination run wild, expecting to encounter the kind of mysteries and horrors she has read about in novels. However, the reality of Northanger Abbey is far more mundane, and Catherine's fantasies are humorously contrasted with the normalcy of her surroundings. Through Catherine's experiences, Austen pokes fun at the sensationalism and unrealistic portrayals of life found in Gothic novels. She highlights the absurdity of applying fictional tropes to real life, encouraging a more rational and realistic approach to understanding the world. The novel also explores themes of maturation and self-awareness. Catherine's journey from a sheltered, imaginative girl to a more sensible and discerning young woman mirrors the transition from the fantastical world of Gothic novels to the realities of everyday life. This theme of growing up and learning to distinguish between fiction and reality is a central aspect of the novel. The satire in Northanger Abbey extends beyond the Gothic genre to include the broader societal norms and behaviors of Austen's time. The novel critiques the superficiality and social pretensions of the upper classes, as seen through Catherine's interactions with other characters, such as the charming but insincere Isabella Thorpe and the sophisticated yet shallow General Tilney. Austen's use of humour and irony in Northanger Abbey is key to its satirical tone. Her witty observations and playful narrative style engage the reader while delivering her critique of literature and society. Northanger Abbey is significant for its metafictional elements, where Austen directly addresses the reader and comments on novel writing and the role of novels in society. This self-referential approach adds another layer to the novel's satirical nature. Northanger Abbey is a distinctive work in Jane Austen's collection, showcasing her ability to blend satire with social commentary. The novel's exploration of the Gothic genre, its humorous critique of societal norms, and its depiction of a young woman's journey towards maturity and understanding make it a unique and engaging read. Austen's skillful use of satire in Northanger Abbey not only entertains, but also provides insightful commentary on the influence of literature and the importance of discerning reality from fiction. In Northanger Abbey, Jane Austen artfully contrasts the themes of youth and experience, using the character development of Catherine Morland to explore the journey from innocence to maturity. The novel begins with Catherine as a typical young woman of her time, full of imagination and little real-world experience. Her love for Gothic novels colours her perception, leading her to see the world through a lens of romanticized and sensationalized expectations. Catherine's visit to Bath represents her first foray into society, a significant step in her journey from the sheltered life of her youth to the complexities of the adult world. In Bath, she experiences the social rituals and interactions of the time, from dances to flirtations, which are new and exciting to her. These experiences expose her to different types of people, both genuine and deceitful, teaching her valuable lessons about trust and discernment. The character of Henry Tilney serves as a guide and mentor to Catherine, helping her navigate this new world. His wit, intelligence, and grounded perspective provide a counterpoint to Catherine's naivete and fanciful notions. Through her interactions with Henry, Catherine begins to understand the difference between fiction and reality and the importance of sound judgment. The transition from Bath to Northanger Abbey marks a pivotal point in Catherine's development. Her initial excitement, fueled by her Gothic fantasies, is gradually replaced by a more realistic understanding of the world. Her experiences at Northanger Abbey challenge her preconceived notions and help her grow in wisdom and maturity. Austen uses the setting of Northanger Abbey to symbolize the contrast between Catherine's youthful fantasies and the realities of adult life. The Abbey, initially imagined as a place of dark secrets and intrigue, turns out to be quite ordinary, reflecting the disparity between Catherine's imagination and reality. The theme of youth and experience is also explored through Catherine's relationships with other characters. Her friendship with Isabella Thorpe, for instance, teaches her about the fickleness and superficiality of some social relationships, while her interactions with the Tilney family offer insights into more sincere and meaningful connections. Northanger Abbey ultimately tells the story of a young woman's growth from innocence to experience. Catherine's journey is marked by her learning to differentiate between the fanciful world of her novels and the real world, and to understand the complexities of human nature and society. Jane Austen uses Catherine's development to explore themes of youth, experience, and the transition to adulthood. The novel's blend of humor, satire, and realism makes it a compelling coming-of-age story that resonates with readers even today. Northanger Abbey is not just a critique of Gothic novels or a commentary on societal norms. It is also a thoughtful exploration of the journey from youth to maturity, reflecting the universal challenges and growth that come with gaining experience in the world. Chapter 10. Unfinished Works. Jane Austen's literary legacy includes not only her completed novels, but also several unfinished works, among which Sanditon is the most notable. Begun in January 1817, just months before Austen's death, Sanditon offers a tantalizing glimpse into what could have been another of her great social satires. Unlike her other novels, Sanditon is set in a seaside town, reflecting a change in setting and possibly in narrative style. The novel introduces us to a cast of characters who are, in true Austen fashion, both varied and vividly drawn. The story centers around Mr. Tom Parker, an enthusiastic entrepreneur who is intent on transforming the quiet village of Sanditon into a fashionable seaside resort. The narrative also introduces Charlotte Haywood, a young woman who becomes entangled in the ambitions and social dynamics of the town. Sanditon is marked by Austen's characteristic wit and sharp observation of social mores. However, it also hints at a new direction in her writing, with a focus on the impact of commercialization and the changing face of English society. The novel's fragmentary state has left readers and scholars to speculate on its intended plot and themes. In addition to Sanditon, Austen left behind other incomplete works, including The Watsons and Lady Susan. The Watsons is particularly intriguing for its darker tone. It tells the story of Emma Watson, a young woman returned to her family after being raised by a wealthy aunt. The novel explores themes of marriage, social class, and women's precarious position in society. Lady Susan, meanwhile, is a unique work in Austen's oeuvre. Written in epistolary form, it features a calculating and charismatic anti-heroine, Lady Susan Vernon, who navigates social and familial relationships to secure advantageous marriages for herself and her daughter. These unfinished works, though varying in tone and subject matter, showcase Austen's evolving style and her continued exploration of social themes. They suggest the direction her writing might have taken had she lived longer. Sanditon, The Watsons, and Lady Susan contribute significantly to our understanding of Austen's literary breadth. They offer insights into her creative process and her ability to innovate within the genre of the novel. While these fragments represent a sense of loss for what might have been, they also stand as a testament to Austen's enduring skill and her impact on the literary world. These unfinished works, with their intriguing characters and glimpses of Austen's evolving perspective, continue to fascinate readers and scholars alike, adding depth and complexity to the legacy of one of English literature's most beloved authors. Austen's unfinished novels are a reminder of her lasting brilliance and the enduring appeal of her work, even in its incomplete state. Imagining the endings of Jane Austen's unfinished works, particularly Sanditon, The Watsons, and Lady Susan, is a fascinating exercise that invites readers and scholars to explore the potential directions these stories might have taken. Each of these works, left incomplete due to Austen's untimely death, offers a unique narrative that sparks curiosity about their intended conclusions. Sanditon, with its setting in a developing seaside resort, introduces themes of health, wealth, and the changing social landscape of Regency England. The story begins with Mr. Tom Parker's ambitious plans for Sanditon and his chance meeting with the Haywood family, leading to Charlotte Haywood's arrival in the town. The novel features a diverse cast of characters, including the hypochondriacal Diana and Arthur Parker, the wealthy but mysterious Lady Denham, and the charming Sidney Parker. One can speculate that the story might have delved into the complexities of social change, with Charlotte's observations and experiences in Sanditon offering a critique of the era's consumerism and class dynamics. Perhaps a romance would have developed between Charlotte and Sidney, following Austen's tradition of intelligent, spirited heroines finding love. The Watsons, on the other hand, presents a more somber tone, focusing on Emma Watson's return to her family after years of living with a wealthy relative. The narrative touches on themes of family duty, financial insecurity, and societal pressures. Emma's position in a family struggling with poverty and her encounters with potential suitors, including the affable Mr. Howard, hint at a story of personal growth and the search for love amidst challenging circumstances. Austen may have intended to explore Emma's journey towards finding her place in a society where her options are limited by her family's financial situation. Lady Susan, uniquely written in epistolary form, centers on the manipulative and charismatic Lady Susan Vernon. Unlike Austen's other heroines, Lady Susan is an anti-heroine, using her wit and charm for selfish ends. The story could have continued to unfold the intricate web of Lady Susan's schemes, perhaps leading to her eventual comeuppance or alternatively, her successful navigation of social conventions to achieve her goals. The novel could have provided a satirical exploration of morality, gender roles, and societal expectations. Imagining the endings of these works involves considering Austen's common themes: the quest for love, social commentary, and the growth of her protagonists. While Sanditon, the Watsons, and Lady Susan each have distinct tones and themes, they all showcase Austen's sharp wit, keen observation of society, and ability to create complex characters. Though the actual conclusions to these stories remain unknown, the unfinished works continue to inspire adaptations, continuations by other authors, and scholarly speculation. They enrich the Austen canon, offering glimpses into her creative process and evolving style. These fragments, filled with potential and possibility, keep alive the spirit of Austen's storytelling, inviting readers to engage with her work in an active and imaginative way. Chapter 11. Jane's Love Life. Jane Austen's personal life, particularly her romantic connections, has been a subject of much curiosity and speculation. Unlike her novels, which are rich with romance and relationships, Jane's own love life remained largely private and unfulfilled in the traditional sense. One of the most significant romantic connections in Jane's life was with Tom Lefroy. Their relationship began in 1795 when Jane was 20 years old. Tom, a young Irishman studying law, visited his relatives in Hampshire, where he met Jane. According to accounts, there was a mutual attraction between them, marked by a shared love of literature and witty conversation. However, their romance was short-lived. Tom's family depended on him to make a financially advantageous marriage, and a match with Jane, who had little dowry, was not deemed suitable. The constraints of social and financial propriety of the time thus ended their budding relationship. Jane's fleeting connection with Tom Lefroy is thought to have left a lasting impression on her, influencing her writing and her portrayal of romantic relationships in her novels. Another notable incident in Jane's romantic life occurred in 1802, when she received a marriage proposal from Harris Bigwither, a wealthy but less intellectually compatible suitor. Jane initially accepted the proposal, which would have offered her a secure and comfortable life. However, she retracted her acceptance the next day. This decision, though difficult, reflected Jane's desire for a marriage based on love and intellectual companionship, values that she held dear and often depicted in her novels. This event in Jane's life demonstrated her commitment to her principles and her understanding of the importance of mutual respect and affection in a relationship. Beyond these connections, there is little concrete information about Jane Austen's romantic life. She never married and dedicated much of her life to her writing and her family. Her letters and biographical accounts suggest that, while she enjoyed social events and the company of others, she valued her independence and creative freedom. Jane Austen's romantic life, though not as filled with courtships and marriages as her characters' lives, reflects the complex realities of love, choice, and societal expectations in the early 19th century. Her experiences with love and her decision to remain single, despite the societal pressures of her time, speak to her strength of character and her commitment to living a life true to her values. The lack of a significant romantic relationship in Jane's life does not diminish the depth and authenticity of her portrayal of love in her novels. Instead, it highlights her profound understanding of the complexities of human relationships, an understanding that continues to resonate with readers around the world. Jane Austen's romantic life, with its blend of personal choice, societal constraints, and the pursuit of genuine connection, remains a fascinating aspect of her biography, contributing to our understanding of her as both a woman and a writer. In exploring Jane Austen's love life, the distinction between fact and fiction becomes significant. While her novels are celebrated for their romantic plots and insightful portrayals of relationships, Jane's personal experience with romance was quite different, leading to a contrast between her real life and the lives of her characters. Jane never married, a fact that stands in stark contrast to the happily ever after endings she crafted for her heroines. This difference has often led to speculation about how much of her writing was influenced by her own experiences and desires. The limited romantic connections in Jane's life, such as her brief association with Tom Lefroy, and the marriage proposal from Harris Bigwither, which she initially accepted and then declined, did not lead to the kind of enduring love stories she created in her novels. These real-life experiences, however, provided her with a deep understanding of the complexities of love and relationships, which she expertly wove into her narratives. Jane's decision to remain single, particularly after rejecting Bigwither's proposal, was unusual for a woman of her time, where marriage was seen as a woman's primary goal and source of security. This decision reflects the themes of independence and choice that are evident in her writing. Her characters often challenge societal norms and expectations, much like Jane did in her own life. The portrayal of love and marriage in Jane's novels is a mix of realism and idealism. Her novels explore the importance of love, compatibility, and mutual respect in relationships, often critiquing the societal expectation of marriage for financial or social gain. This perspective perhaps mirrors her own views on love and marriage, informed by her experiences and observations. The fact that Jane remained single and devoted herself to her writing also challenges the notion that a fulfilling life requires romantic fulfillment. Her success as a writer and her enduring legacy suggest a different kind of fulfillment, one rooted in creativity, intellectual engagement, and familial love. Jane's portrayal of romantic relationships in her novels, while fictional, is grounded in the realities of her time. She understood the societal pressures, the limitations, and the importance of personal choice in matters of love and marriage. Her own life, though devoid of the romantic endings she wrote for her characters, was a testament to her belief in the value of personal choice and the pursuit of one's own path. In sum, the contrast between fact and fiction in Jane Austen's love life offers a deeper understanding of her as both a writer and an individual. Her personal experiences with romance, or the lack thereof, provided a unique lens through which she viewed and wrote about relationships, adding authenticity and depth to her novels. Jane's life, characterized by her choice to remain unmarried and focus on her writing, stands as a bold statement of independence and self-determination in an era that often limited women's choices and freedoms. Chapter 12. Letters and Correspondence. Jane Austen's letters and correspondence offer an invaluable window into her world, providing insights into her personal life, her thoughts, and the society in which she lived. These letters, mostly written to family members, especially her sister Cassandra, reveal the depth of her relationships and her observations of the world around her. Austen's letters are characterized by the same wit and keen observation found in her novels. They are filled with comments on her daily life, social events, and the people she encountered. Through these letters, readers get a glimpse of the real Jane Austen, a woman with a sharp sense of humor, a keen eye for the absurdities of her society, and a deep affection for her family. The letters also show a side of Austen that is not always apparent in her novels. They depict her as a loving daughter, sister, and aunt, deeply involved in the lives of her family members. Her correspondence provides details about her domestic life, including her role in the household, her hobbies, and her routines. One of the most striking aspects of Austen's letters is her commentary on the social practices and customs of the time. She often discusses visits, balls and other social gatherings, offering critiques and observations with a sharp wit. These descriptions provide context to the social settings of her novels and her understanding of the nuances of social interaction and etiquette. Austen's letters also occasionally reflect on her writing process and her career as an author. Although these references are relatively few, they offer a rare insight into her thoughts on her own work and the reception of her novels. These moments in her letters are particularly precious to fans and scholars of her literature, as they shed light on her perspective as a writer. Unfortunately, many of Austen's letters were destroyed or censored after her death, primarily by her sister Cassandra, who wished to protect her privacy. The surviving letters, however, still form a significant collection, offering a fascinating look into Austen's life and times. They are an essential resource for understanding not just the writer, but the woman behind the celebrated novels. Jane Austen's letters and correspondence allow readers to connect with her in a more intimate way, beyond the pages of her novels. They paint a picture of a woman who was deeply embedded in her social world, observant and critical of its workings, and yet also a loving and engaged family member. These letters are a crucial part of Austen's legacy, providing a direct link to her thoughts, her personality, and her world. They complement her literary works, adding depth and richness to our understanding of one of the most beloved authors in English literature. Jane Austen's letters not only provide a glimpse into her personal life and the society she lived in, but also showcase her mastery of the art of letter writing, an important form of communication in the 19th century. Austen's letters are a testament to her skill as a writer, characterized by her expressive language, sharp wit, and keen observations. The art of letter writing during Austen's time was more than just a means of communication. It was a reflection of one's education, social standing, and personality. Letters were carefully crafted, often written and rewritten to ensure the right tone and content. Austen's letters demonstrate her ability to convey a wide range of emotions and thoughts, from everyday occurrences to more profound reflections on life and relationships. In her correspondence, Austen often used irony and humor, much like in her novels. Her playful use of language and her ability to find amusement in the mundane aspects of life added a lively and engaging quality to her letters. These qualities made her letters a joy to read for their recipients, just as her novels are for her readers. The letters also reveal Austen's keen eye for detail and her interest in the lives of those around her. She often commented on the people she met and the events she attended, providing vivid descriptions and insightful observations. This attention to detail is reflected in the richly drawn characters and settings of her novels. Austen's correspondence frequently included news and updates about her family and friends. These personal details offer a deeper understanding of her close relationships and her role within her family. They also reflect the social customs of the time, including the importance of family connections and social networks. The surviving letters, though only a fraction of what she wrote, are a valuable record of Austen's life and times. They show her engagement with the world around her and her skill in using the written word to connect with others. Jane Austen's letters are not just important historical documents. They are also works of art in their own right. They demonstrate the importance of letter writing as a form of expression during her time and provide an enduring example of her literary talent. Austen's mastery of the art of letter writing, with its blend of personal insight, social commentary, and literary skill, adds another dimension to her legacy as one of the most beloved and respected authors in English literature. Her letters, like her novels, continue to captivate and delight readers, offering a window into the mind of a remarkable writer and the society she inhabited. Chapter 13. Literary Style. Jane Austen's literary style is renowned for its wit and irony, elements that distinguish her work in the realm of English literature. These aspects of her writing style not only provide entertainment, but also serve as tools for social commentary and character development. Austen's wit is evident in her sharp, humorous observations of the society in which she lived. She had an exceptional ability to capture the absurdities and contradictions of the social mores of the early 19th century. Her novels are filled with clever dialogue and playful banter, which not only engage the reader, but also reveal the personalities and values of her characters. This witty use of language allows Austen to critique the social norms and behaviors of her time subtly and effectively. Irony is another key component of Austen's literary style. She often used irony to highlight the discrepancies between characters' perceptions and reality. This is particularly evident in the way she portrays her characters' flaws, misunderstandings, and misjudgments. Austen's use of irony is not just a literary device. It is a lens through which she examines the social and personal issues of her time. Her ironic observations often point to the limitations placed on women in terms of marriage and social mobility, as well as the broader societal hypocrisies and vanities. Austen's combination of wit and irony is perhaps most apparent in her narrative style. She frequently employs free, indirect speech, a technique that allows her to present a character's thoughts or speech from the third-person perspective. This narrative style enables her to inject her own ironic observations while staying within the confines of the character's worldview. It is a subtle yet powerful way of revealing the inner workings of her characters' minds, as well as her own views on the events and societies she describes. The use of wit and irony in Austen's work not only provides a critique of the society and customs of her time, but also adds depth to her characters. Her protagonists, like Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, or Emma Woodhouse in Emma, are often intelligent and independent-minded. They navigate their way through the social structures of their time, often using wit and irony themselves to challenge these structures. Jane Austen's masterful use of wit and irony has contributed to the enduring appeal of her novels. These elements of her literary style not only entertain, but also provoke thought, offering insights into human behavior and societal norms. Her ability to combine humor with critical social commentary in an accessible and engaging manner is one of the reasons why her work continues to be celebrated and studied today. Austen's wit and irony are not merely stylistic choices. They are integral to her narrative voice and central to her exploration of themes such as love, marriage, social class, and morality. Through her unique style, Austen has left a lasting impact on literature, offering readers a blend of entertainment, social critique, and profound understanding of the human condition. Jane Austen's narrative techniques are a key component of her literary style, contributing significantly to the depth and enduring appeal of her novels. One of the most notable aspects of her narrative approach is the use of free indirect discourse. This technique blurs the line between the narrator's voice and the character's inner thoughts, allowing Austen to delve into the minds of her characters while maintaining a third-person perspective. It enables the reader to gain insight into the character's motivations and feelings without the need for first-person narration. This narrative style is particularly effective in revealing the complexities of characters' thoughts and emotions, often adding layers of irony and subtlety to the narrative. Austen's narrative techniques also include a strong focus on dialogue. Her dialogues are not only realistic and engaging, but are also used to advance the plot and reveal key aspects of her characters. Through conversations, Austen exposes the social dynamics, personal ambitions, and moral values of her characters. The dialogue in her novels often carries a witty and satirical tone, reflecting her keen observation of the nuances of social interaction and communication. Another important aspect of Austen's narrative style is her detailed descriptions of settings and social contexts. She meticulously portrays the settings of her novels, whether it's the countryside, a small village, or a bustling town. These descriptions provide a backdrop against which the story unfolds, offering insights into the social environment and customs of the time. Austen's attention to detail in describing settings and social events, such as balls, dinners and visits, immerses the reader in the world of her characters and enhances the realism of her narratives. Austen's use of irony is also evident in her narrative voice. She often employs a subtly ironic tone to critique the societal norms and expectations of her time. This irony is not just a stylistic device, it is a means of engaging with and commenting on the issues of class, gender, and morality that pervade her novels. Her ironic observations provide depth to the narrative and invite the reader to look beyond the surface of the story. Character development is another key feature of Austen's narrative technique. Her characters are well-rounded and dynamic, evolving over the course of the novel. Austen skillfully uses narrative developments, interactions, and internal reflections to portray the growth and transformation of her characters. This focus on character development not only drives the plot, but also ensures that her characters are relatable and memorable. In summary, Jane Austen's narrative techniques, including free indirect discourse, dialogue, detailed setting descriptions, irony, and character development, are integral to her unique literary style. These techniques allow her to create narratives that are rich in depth, engaging in form, and insightful in content. They contribute to the enduring appeal of her work, showcasing her skill as a storyteller and her keen understanding of human nature and society. Austen's narrative style not only entertains, but also provides a critical reflection on the world she lived in, making her novels relevant and admired even today. Chapter 14. Legacy and Influence. Jane Austen's legacy and influence in literature and popular culture are profound, often referred to as the Austen phenomenon. This term encapsulates the enduring popularity and relevance of her work, centuries after her death. Austen's novels have not only remained in print since their initial publication, but have also grown in popularity, reaching audiences worldwide and inspiring countless adaptations and reinterpretations. The appeal of Austen's work lies in her timeless storytelling, engaging characters, and insightful social commentary. Her novels, though set in the early 19th century, resonate with modern readers due to their exploration of universal themes such as love, social status, family, and personal growth. Austen's sharp wit and keen observation of human behavior add a layer of enduring charm to her narratives. The Austen phenomenon extends beyond her novels. It encompasses a vast array of adaptations, including films, television series, and stage productions. These adaptations have introduced Austen's work to new audiences, often reimagining her stories in different contexts or modern settings. The success of these adaptations is a testament to the adaptability and relevance of her narratives in various cultural and temporal settings. Austen's influence is also evident in the academic world. Her novels are studied in literature courses around the globe, appreciated for their literary merit and contribution to the development of the novel as a genre. Scholars analyze her work for its social, historical, and feminist perspectives, finding new layers of meaning and relevance. The Austen phenomenon also manifests in popular culture through fan clubs, festivals and societies dedicated to her life and work. These groups often hold events such as Regency balls, book discussions and lectures, celebrating Austen's work and the era in which she lived. The city of Bath, where Austen lived for several years, hosts an annual Jane Austen festival, attracting fans from all over the world. Austen's impact on literature extends to other authors as well. Many contemporary writers cite her as an influence, drawing inspiration from her narrative style, character development, and social commentary. Her approach to writing, combining humour with critical observation, has set a standard for novels that both entertain and provoke thought. The Austen phenomenon reflects not just a continued interest in her work, but a deeper engagement with the themes and ideas she explored. Her novels, rich in detail and character, continue to be a source of enjoyment, inspiration, and scholarly interest. Jane Austen's legacy is a testament to her exceptional skill as a writer and her understanding of the human experience. Her work transcends time and cultural boundaries, making her one of the most celebrated and influential authors in English literature. The ongoing popularity and relevance of her novels, adaptations, and the vibrant fan culture surrounding her work are evidence of the enduring impact of the Austen phenomenon. The legacy of Jane Austen has been significantly enriched by the numerous adaptations and inspirations drawn from her novels, highlighting her lasting influence on literature and popular culture. These adaptations, which include films, television series, and books, have extended Austen's reach and relevance to new audiences and generations. The film and television adaptations of Austen's novels have played a crucial role in sustaining her popularity. Classic adaptations such as the 1995 BBC adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, starring Colin Firth and Jennifer Ehle, have become iconic in their own right. These adaptations often stay true to the source material, capturing the essence of Austen's world while making it accessible to modern audiences. More recent adaptations have taken creative liberties, reimagining Austen's stories in different settings or time periods. For example, Clueless, a 1995 film, is a modern retelling of Emma, set in Beverly Hills and focusing on the life of a wealthy high school student. These modern adaptations underscore the timelessness of Austen's themes and their adaptability to different contexts. The influence of Austen's work extends beyond screen adaptations to inspire other forms of literature. Numerous authors have written sequels, prequels, and reimaginings of her novels. These books often explore the untold stories of secondary characters or offer new perspectives on the familiar narratives. For instance, Longbourn by Joe Baker tells the story of Pride and Prejudice from the servant's point of view, providing a different take on the events of the novel. Austen's work has also inspired a genre of literature known as Austen-esque fiction, which includes novels that are stylistically similar to Austen's works or set in the Regency period. These novels often mimic Austen's wit, social commentary, and style of romance, appealing to readers who enjoy the world she created. Beyond literature and film, Austen's influence can be seen in various other cultural forms, such as stage adaptations, graphic novels, and web series. These adaptations often target younger audiences, introducing them to Austen's work in formats that they find relatable and engaging. For example, the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, a web series adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, presents the story as a series of vlogs, adapting the narrative to fit the digital age. The enduring appeal of Austen's work in adaptations and inspirations speaks to her skill as a storyteller and the universality of her themes. These adaptations not only honor the original works, but also reinterpret them, keeping Austen's stories alive and relevant for contemporary audiences. They allow new generations to engage with her work in various forms, ensuring that her legacy continues to grow and evolve. Jane Austen's influence in literature and popular culture, through adaptations and inspirations, is a testament to the enduring power of her storytelling. Her ability to capture the complexities of human relationships, social dynamics, and personal growth continues to resonate, making her work a continual source of inspiration and enjoyment. The vast array of adaptations and inspired works based on her novels demonstrates the universal appeal of her narratives and her lasting impact as one of the most influential authors in English literature. Chapter 15. The Final Years. The final years of Jane Austen's life were marked by declining health, casting a shadow over her remarkable literary career. In 1816, Austen began to experience health issues that would increasingly affect her ability to write and conduct her daily activities. The nature of her illness, often speculated to be Addison's disease or Hodgkin's lymphoma, remained undiagnosed during her lifetime. This period of her life was characterized by physical weakness and increasing discomfort, which she endured with typical stoicism and without complaint. Despite her failing health, Austen continued to write. She worked on Sanditon, a novel that remained unfinished at her death, and revised her earlier works, showcasing her dedication and passion for writing. Her illness, however, made it increasingly difficult for her to write for extended periods, a frustration for a writer so dedicated to her craft. Austen's illness also affected her social life. Known for her lively spirit and keen interest in social gatherings, she found herself restricted by her declining health. Her letters from this period reflect a decrease in the frequency of her social engagements and a sense of resignation to her condition. Yet, even in illness, her correspondence retained the wit and vivacity that characterized her personality and work. The exact cause of Austen's illness remains a subject of speculation among scholars and medical professionals. However, it is clear that her health began to deteriorate rapidly in early 1817. Realizing the seriousness of her condition, Austen made arrangements to move to Winchester in May 1817, seeking medical treatment. She was accompanied by her sister Cassandra, who provided constant care during these difficult months. Austen's declining health was a source of concern and sorrow for her family, who were accustomed to her being a vibrant and integral part of their lives. Her strength in facing her illness and her continued focus on her writing during this time reflect her resilience and dedication to her art. Jane Austen's final years, though marked by the challenges of declining health, also highlight her enduring spirit and commitment to her writing. Even as she faced personal adversity, her creativity and wit remained undiminished, a testament to her character and talent. Her struggle with illness and her continued work during this time add a poignant chapter to her life story, showcasing the depth of her dedication to literature and her ability to face adversity with courage and grace. In the final years of her life, despite her declining health, Jane Austen's commitment to her literary work remained steadfast. She continued to write and revise her novels, leaving behind a legacy that would endure long after her untimely death. Her last completed works, Persuasion and Northanger Abbey, were published posthumously in 1860.